Let Desmond cheat on Kristy be a sign that y'all need to stop idolizing social media relationships. The amount of people I'm seeing in the comments talk about, I have no faith in men because of a social media couple that y'all don't know personally.
Okay. That part.
A divorce filing went public and people immediately started dissecting the marriage. Every clip, every moment, every dynamic. But let's be honest, a lot of women aren't mourning marriage here. They're mourning the image of it, and that distinction matters. That's what I want to discuss. For anyone unfamiliar, Christy and Desmond are a married couple who built a following by sharing moments from their family life online. Their content shows humor, parenting, work, travel, and everyday life. Nothing scandal-driven, nothing preachy, just a modern Black married couple raising their sons while living visibly online. Kristy is known for pranking her husband. That's a big part of their content, sometimes doing the most. Desmond is known for being visibly tormented by her foolishness, eye rolls, deep sighs, annoyed laughter, but still present and engaged.
I can't believe you're talking me into this. Oh my god. I hate it. I'm about to go home.
They weren't positioning themselves as relationship experts. They were sharing snapshots of a life many people found aspirational. Here's what we actually know without filling in blanks that don't belong to us. On January 9th, TMZ reported that on December 30th, 2025, Kristy filed for divorce in Harris County, Texas. The filing states infidelity and states that reconciliation is off the table. The following day, January 10th, Desmond released a brief statement after the filing became public. He acknowledged wrongdoing, didn't overshare, didn't drag Kristy, and referenced concerns and attempts to work through issues before things reached this point. Read plainly, it doesn't sound like something that came out of nowhere. Cheating is not excused, but it does suggest the breakdown started privately long before paperwork became public. He also asked for privacy and censored their children. That's where the public information ends. Everything else online is interpretation and speculation. This hit hard because people weren't just watching casually. They admired what they saw: an attractive couple, a family, a lifestyle that looked balanced, intentional, and modern. For a lot of women, this represented the kind of marriage they say they would want if marriage was ever even on the table for them. So when it ended, it didn't just disappoint people, it confirmed fears.
She's a bad mama Jim. Get out of my way, boy.
Oh my. I know it's not good to like idolize someone else's relationship or like be envious and want what somebody else has or whatever. But I will say this. I love the way that Desmond loves Kristy. I've been following them for some time now. Aside from Desmond, being his goofy, funny self, you could really see the love that he has for her and how he adores her. Like, that is just so beautiful to me. And I don't know, they only show us what they show us, but from what they post and, when she does her story times or whatever, it just seems like they have real, genuine love. And I love that for them. And I just pray, Lord, I've seen what you've done for others. I've seen what you've done for them. Just don't forget about me. Don't forget.
I simply cannot stop saying they just built that house though. The house. I can't stop thinking about that house, that big, beautiful ass house they just built. Oh, what's gonna happen to the house? Who get the house? That's all. I cannot. I don't think y'all understand how many times I've said that in the past 12 hours. The house though. Who get the house?
So I'm just gonna pray over her family, because I'm heartbroken. I don't know if anybody else is heartbroken, but I love her. I don't idolize her. I just think she's such a gorgeous, beautiful person, inside and out. I mean, who knows what they put out, but you know what? Like, yeah, I'm heartbroken, you guys. Like, I don't even want to see this anymore. Like, can they get back together?
A big part of why this is hitting women so hard is the aesthetic of the marriage. Kristy represents what many women openly say they want: a woman who appears established, paid, and doing work she enjoys. She moves freely, she travels, she goes on brand trips, she attends red carpet events, secures sponsorships, and lives a luxury lifestyle while still being married. Desmond in that picture fits what women online often describe as a golden retriever type of man. Affectionate, emotionally expressive, present, hands-on, supportive, not rigid or cold. Comfortable in domestic spaces, comfortable showing care without centering ego. He's also professionally accomplished in his own right, a professional chef with his own social media presence and business opportunities while still being hands-on in their home and with their sons. He isn't framed as helping, he's framed as present. Cooking, cleaning, actively parenting, showing affection and patience, appearing supportive of the lifestyle she's built. That balance is what people are attached to, not because this is the only way to have autonomy or fulfillment in marriage, but because this version of marriage is the one that gets uplifted online. And when marriages don't look like this, they often don't get the same admiration or grace. Calling someone else's relationship goals becomes risky when what you're responding to is an aesthetic, not the full reality. Now let's slow down the phrase relationship goals. Relationship goals were never meant to imply no conflict, no hard seasons, no work. That's not marriage, that's a highlight reel. Most relationships get labeled goals because of what's shown and what's curated. People love the idea of marriage way more than they like the reality of it. Everybody says they want honesty until honesty shows up with effort, compromise, and uncomfortable conversations. Suddenly it's, why would you share that? Or this isn't goals anymore. So relationship goals stop being about health and longevity and starts being about comfort. If it looks good and feels safe, it gets celebrated. If it doesn't, people start backtracking. People do want to see healthy marriages online. That's normal, but not at the expense of the health of the actual marriage. A lot of the women saying they've lost faith in marriage aren't reacting to marriage itself. They're reacting to the loss of an image they were attached to. People don't hate transparency. They hate transparency that ruins the fantasy. That's projection meeting reality. This is where the misalignment really shows up. For years now, many women have been very clear. Marriage isn't a goal. Marriage isn't a flex. Marriage is slavery. Marriage is a bad deal. I'm single by choice. Don't talk to me about marriage. You can't change my mind. And that is their choice. But then this marriage ends and suddenly we see comments like, this is reason 1099 why I'm staying single. And even, they were my last hope for marriage. That's where it really stops making sense. Because how can something be your last hope if you've been saying for years you never wanted it in the first place? Many women saying that the decision to remain single wasn't made because of this divorce. That decision was made a long time ago.
I wish that more women adopted the idea that men are just for fun. Like they just something to do in the meantime, in between time. Like these are not lifelong goals. Like having a man should not be a life. Like listen to that. My goal is to be married to a man.
I'm single, I don't have children, and people ask me like, what happened? And I'm a heterosexual woman, right? And so it's like, well, a couple things happened. I think first and foremost, I always say I spent too much time on the wrong relationships. That is, I tell any young woman, get in and get out. It's the whole classic. I necessarily do that as often as perhaps I should have. But I also think, creating a space to date and explore. Women that are driven in their careers,
they don't have time.
Tend to forget about how intentional you need to be about dating.
That's another thing. I'm glad you said that. They don't have time.
They don't have time. They don't make time.
They don't make the time.
They don't make the time.
They have the time. They don't make the time.
They don't make it because it gets exhausting, right? When you're constantly coming up against the men that may not be equally yoked.
They're wondering how a woman as stunning as you are, that is the object of so many men's desire, and you probably have the pick of the litter, which is another thing that they assume. Wow. Yeah, girl, I know.
It's not even my focus, and it never has been. My mother's an independent thinker. I've witnessed a divorce, between my parents. I've witnessed all kinds of things. My father is a very attractive man. I've witnessed a lot of things. And it's also not been a safe place in my mind as a little girl. So I've always thought a little different. The white wedding dress, I was very fearful of those things. So I looked elsewhere and probably escaped too much in my work and keep going. But also, I think being independent has forced me to show up for myself and obviously family, friends, and this operation because I have a mission and I have a vision.
You know what, ladies, go ahead and get married. Get married, get it out your system. That way you can see what the hype is all about. Like, go ahead, because y'all want it so bad. Y'all are fighting so hard to be domestic servants. Y'all want to be, I don't know what it is you think that marriage is going to provide you outside of the contractual benefits. You ain't going to live as long. You're not going to be as happy. You're not going to be as healthy. But if you want it so bad, do it. Just do it. can stop with the fantasy of it all. Then you can stop wondering what you're missing out on. Then you can stop chasing it and you can realize it's not what it's cracked up to be.
This isn't anecdotal. Marriage rates are declining across the board, but Black women are married the least. When large numbers of Black women openly say marriage isn't a goal, that belief doesn't just stay online. It shows up in real life outcomes. And this is the uncomfortable part. Some of the reaction reads less like confidence in singleness and more like coping with the fact that the marriage, the lifestyle, or the outcome they may have wanted didn't materialize. That doesn't describe every woman, but it does explain why the emotional response feels outsized compared to the stated belief of, I never wanted this anyway. Now let's be clear, you cannot desire marriage at all and still have sympathy or empathy for another woman going through a divorce. What becomes disingenuous is projecting unresolved disappointment, poor dating experiences, or unmet expectations onto someone else's marriage and using their situation as validation. That's not analysis, that's projection. Is it possible for a woman who was genuinely on the fence about marriage to see a relationship like this and reconsider her stance? Yes. But that's not what most of this reaction sounds like. This sounds like performative outrage, mourning an image while insisting you never wanted what that image represented in the first place. One marriage ending is not proof that marriage itself is broken. That conclusion isn't logical, it's emotional. Social media shows moments, not marriages. Admiration is fine, inspiration is fine, but building life conclusions off someone else's snapshot is short-sighted. Regardless of how this unfolded, this is still a family going through a major transition, and there are children involved. I genuinely wish Christy and Desmond peace as they move forward and hope they're able to protect their children and heal privately. Now, do you think people are reacting to the end of a marriage or the loss of an image? Why do only certain versions of marriage get respected? And where do you see the biggest contradictions showing up? Drop your thoughts in the comments and keep it respectful. If this conversation made you think, like the video, hit hype if you see it, subscribe, and share it with someone who appreciates nuance. Thank y'all for watching, and I'll see y'all in the next one. Peace.